Hi guys, how are you? It's me, Alex, the founder and instructor from Dispatch Training Center. Well, happy Monday for everybody who is in trucking, and hopefully we're gonna learn something new. Well, what's gonna happen tomorrow? Let's give 30 seconds for people who hopefully joining us, our previous students, our future students, professional drivers, professional dispatchers, professional safety managers, and everybody who is actually has have anything to do with industry of transportation, shippers, receivers, buyers, people who actually own trucking company, and everybody else who has a part of the big circles of logistics in the USA. Well, I'll be back just in a second, and we're gonna continue and see what's gonna happen tomorrow and why, as a dispatcher, you should know this information. Well, guys, I think I was muted there for the second, so I guess I have to start all over. Unfortunately, since I was disconnecting my microphone to make sure that everything is works, I forgot that I do need to click in a StreamYard to unmute yourself. So if I'm repeating myself, please forgive me. And if I was muted, also please don't pay attention to that because, well, I'm not a superstar. I don't have a team who sits here and checks on everything. It's just me, and I'm trying my best. So, what are we guys going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about what's going to happen tomorrow and why, as a dispatcher, you should be aware of international road check. Why anybody who is a part of logistics also should be prepared for this 72 hours blitz. And let's see what is our brokers are telling us to do. Maybe they're giving us advice. And today I will refer to three of them. Amazon Relay, because lots of you work with Amazon. So let's see how is Amazon preparing you for tomorrow. Also, I do like the way Coyote Logistics also supports on informational level. They share a lot of terminology and RXO. So let's continue and see. I will be sharing the screen, and tomorrow we are all gonna be part of Roadcheck, International Roadcheck of 2024. We have few of them this year, but this one is starting tomorrow. And let's see how long will this last. So I will just make this bigger and it's easier for you to see. So I actually will remove myself. So let's see. What is the DOT week and why do we all kind of afraid of this, or some of us are actually preparing and making sure that our drivers know what they do and how to not to kill your safety. Well, we usually call it DOT Blitz, and usually it's largest targeted enforcement program on the commercial motor vehicles in the world, and which countries are actually going to be part of this. Why do we call this international road check? Well, because we're going to have USA, Canada, and Mexico. That's why it is international road check. And what is it going to concentrate? And how long is it gonna actually last? Well, it's going to last only 72 hours. But look at this. The data is telling us that we're going to have truck inspection approximately 15 trucks per minute. This is a lot of inspections, guys, right? If any of you are a professional driver, well, 15 inspections per minute, it's a lot. And what is it going to be concentrating on? Well, they can concentrate on everything, but this year, they actually going to be concentrating on certain things. And look at this beautiful screenshot from Coyote. And I will be referring to the brokers who share this information, because don't think that I just go there and I create these files. No, I don't have time for this. I belong to all the reading blogs, articles for the bunch of brokers, bunch of logistics companies. Why? Because as a pro dispatcher, you have to be always educated. You have to make sure that you know what's going on. So let's see. This year, we are concentrating on tractor protection system, alcohol and control and control substance possession. I am going to show you official. Look at this. I'm going to share with you official road check. So let's see. I need to present. So remove. I'm going to present. Stop sharing. I guess I have to go back and forth. I don't know why. And I'm going to share this screen with you. And I want to make sure that you see what I want to show you. Here you go. Sorry. Okay. So this is the official flyer. How can you actually get this flyer? Well, I send you guys a link and I will make sure that you understand that all of this comes from official websites. So if you really want to figure out what's going to happen this year, how to prepare your drivers, what to do, you can go to official website, right? And here is website www.roadcheck.org, and also for short it's CVSA. So let's see. Well, first they want to make sure that they are paying attention to, let me move myself. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see it better. So let's see. So they will be making sure that drivers understand that this time they will be checking on tractor protection and anti-bleed back systems. So look at this. They give you all this check. They want to make sure that they are going to be looking for any leaking. They're going to be making sure that the driver can, per their request, have the full service brake application, right? They're going to make sure on your PSI. They want to make sure that you have at least 20 PSI remaining. They also going to make sure that you understand what does it mean to be a part of clearinghouse, right? So look at this second part. So they are concentrated on the controlled substance and alcohol possession. So if we are talking about this part, we want to make sure that you guys are aware of clearinghouse, right? Everybody knows what clearinghouse is. And if you are new to logistics, if you are new to trucking, then make sure that you go and educate yourself on rules and regulations of clearinghouse. Just a little reminder to anybody who started trucking company, you have to remember, before you hire the driver, you need to run the full query. You need to make sure the driver is not prohibited. And you also need to make sure that you do annual limited query. I'm gonna put this right now in the comment for people who want to educate themselves and who want to actually understand how trucking works. For some of the dispatchers, pro dispatchers, they also have to have the background into safety and compliance. So, why are they concentrating on clearing house? Well, because we still have lots and lots of violations. A lot of companies are not doing something which is mandatory, and pre-employment query is mandatory. Unfortunately, you cannot hire the driver if he is prohibited in drug and alcohol clearinghouse. What does it mean prohibited? That means that he had positive drug or alcohol result and he has to clear it. He has to take care of it with SAP, substance abuse professional. He needs to make sure that system will show that he is okay to drive. And how does system finds all the drivers? Well, because the new rule, which got active a few years ago, tells us if you are a holder of a CDL, you have to register in a clearinghouse. So me as a company, I can find any driver who register himself in clearinghouse by simply putting his first last name and CDL license number. And system is going to ask me, would I like to run the full query? And if yes, because I am doing pre-employment query, the system is gonna send him email and he needs to agree. He needs to agree to share information with me as a future employer, right? When he's working for me already during the year, I can just do limited query. Still, every driver has to give us permission to do so. But let's go back and see what are the brokers are telling us. What should we do in preparation for tomorrow? Well, if you guys would like to see the all the paperwork, I will show you websites in the end of this live. But let's see. Amazon Relay. So, what is Amazon telling us to do? Well, Amazon is actually uh, asking the carriers for Amazon to make sure that they prepare for all type of inspections. And they want to make sure that every driver understands what does it mean to pass level 1 inspections with 37 step procedures. So how can we actually know all of this, right? Because some of you are going to tell me, well, Alex, where is this information come from, right? Well, the information comes from official websites. And here you go. You guys should educate yourself. Again, I'm going to share the link right now. So here in the comments, you can go to this later and hopefully read about all types of inspections we have, but most of you guys are going to be dealing with level 1 inspection, right? So let's see, level 1, which is called North American Standard Inspection, level 2, which is a walk around driver vehicle inspection, and level 3, driver credential administrative inspection. Well, most of you now have seen inspection number 4, number 5. If you really want to educate yourself what kind of inspections are those, please follow the link and do so. And also we have inspection 7 and 6 and 7 and 8. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen when you actually get stopped? Well, DOT officer can perform any of those inspections. Usually, when we have DOT week and they really want to find any violations, they are aiming for inspection level 1. So when they go for that inspection and everything is good, well, what can they check for? So let's go back to Amazon and see what is Amazon telling us. First, they're gonna make sure that they look at vehicle functionality. They're gonna check on driver credentials. They're gonna check on hours of service. They're also gonna check on drug and alcohol usage, and of course, the permits. Well, what else are they gonna be doing? Well, they gonna be paying attention this inspection to tractor protection system, right? And as we already said, our clearinghouse. And when you guys pass, they might give you something which all of us are looking for. And hopefully, this decals. Hopefully, at least once in your driving career, you were lucky enough to get this decals. And usually they give them for 3 months. So why would they give them only for 3 months? Well, because they want to make sure that you guys stay compliant all the time. My dear dispatchers and drivers, remember, when you look at these colors, please pay attention when are they given to you, because they are by colors. So green refers to the first quarter, January, February, March. Yellow is for April, May, and June. Orange is for July, August, and September. White is for October, November, December. So if you are lucky enough, you actually going to get right now, since we are in May, the yellow decal. And how much time can you display that on your truck? Well, unfortunately, only end of the May. So what we have, 15 days of May if you get it tomorrow, and June. And on July 1st, you need to make sure that you remove that decal. So that's what we call that decal, CVSA decal. They are only given if you are going through level 1 inspection, and also they are given to you if you are going from inspection 6 and 8. So that's why most of you only get them with inspection level 1, because you are not dealing with a hazmat, you're not dealing with a radioactive materials, and that's all you need to know about the decals. What else is going on? Well, Amazon wants us to concentrate what gonna happen if we're gonna be fine, not compliant. So let's see. So Amazon wants us to pay attention. Remember that the last year, in 2023, we had about 60,000 inspections, and most of them affected safety of your company. And when the safety gets affected, well, insurance cost goes up, brokers don't want to work with you, you're paying fines, and it's not that easy to survive when your safety is not in a good standing. So how can we prepare for this blitz? And of course, you cannot really prepare for it day before, because if you've been in trucking business, you should already know about this from beginning of the year, because we know the dates actually even from the last year when the new road checks are coming up. But at least make sure that you have your paperwork on file. Make sure that your drivers do not drive without license, registration, insurance document, without medical card. And of course, you can have your little DOT inspection cheat sheet, what they have to prepare for. So if I would be a safety manager today, probably, even though it's already 6:20 p.m. Central Time, I would contact every driver, maybe even over a phone call, go through the folder, make sure everything is in place. Make sure the driver knows what's in the player. Make sure in a folder. Make sure that they don't miss anything. Make sure that they know where their medical card is. Make sure they understand what other paperwork should be in the folder. Look at that folder. Hopefully it's clean. Hopefully it's not looking disgusting, because picture yourself, you're a DT inspector and your driver gets out and he's giving you this nasty dirty folder. Driver who doesn't know if he still have registration there for truck and trailer. He doesn't know if the IFTA license copy is there. They're asking him for DOT reference card for ELD, and he looks at inspectors like, what are you talking about, right? He comes with an attitude. Well, I don't think that would be very helpful for tomorrow. So still not late to probably contact every driver. Maybe if you are using TMS system, well, send them a reminder that tomorrow the DOT Blitz starts for 72 hours. Please do not fake logbooks. And if you were faking them, well, understand that actually on the back end, everything is going to be shown if you're in inspection mode. So be prepared for that. But let's continue. What else Amazon, Coyote, and RXO telling us as a carriers? So let's see if this information actually can be useful for dispatchers and for our drivers. Well, we're going to come back just in the second, and we're going to continue. Okay, so let's see. Well, RXO is giving advices for drivers. So what are they telling us? Well, they're telling us that we should focus on familiarizing ourselves with what are they going to be looking for. They want to make sure that we inspect our vehicles, hopefully today and hopefully tomorrow for PTI. And if we found something, well, we hopefully gonna go and fix it and not gonna be keep driving. They want to make sure that you still check all your documentation. See, this is the same advice as I was given to you. And pay attention if you have all the permits, if you are going through certain states as Connecticut, as New York, as Kentucky, as New Mexico, as Oregon. Make sure that you are actually arrested and alert. And please do not try to bypass if you see the DOT officer stopping you, because that's even worse than going for inspection. And pay attention. The RXO is asking you, make sure that you are polite and you are cooperate, right? And I would like to really pay attention here. I've been dealing with drivers for a long time. And I can tell you this, we do have some professional drivers who have an attitude. And it has nothing to do with how they drive, but usually when they get stopped for inspection, they are actually being very rude. They do not want to cooperate because they want to show, well, I know what I'm doing. I've been driving for 10, 15 years. And sometimes we do need to pick our battles. So maybe for the next 72 hours starting tomorrow, let's try to be polite and let's cooperate. So if the officer is asking you to show him something, if the officer asking you to stay in the truck, if the officer is questioning your BOL or asking where did you get loaded, where are you going, what is inside your truck, well, simple as this. Usually drivers don't even pay attention to BOLs. They don't even know what type of commodities in their trailer. Isn't that something the driver should check before he goes on the road? And also remember, this is a DOT week, and if the inspector feels like he wants to open that seal, well, he can do so. In this case, You as a dispatcher, let's say you gonna have inspection tomorrow, and let's hope it's gonna be no violations. What do you have to be prepared as a dispatcher? Well, if the seal was open, well, you need to notify the broker. You need to send them the proof of inspection and making sure that probably officer even write on the BOL that seal was broken due to DOT week, right? That would be something smart. Don't wait until you get to your receiver tomorrow or day after or 3 days later and you're going to be rejected because the seal is broke. Make sure you are proactive. Secondary, as a dispatcher, maybe you need to give a little bit extra time for your drivers tomorrow. And in case if they are getting stopped and they are running late, well, make sure you contact the shippers, receivers, and brokers and you let them know that you are running late. Well, pay attention to your loads tomorrow. Do not take unrealistic transit. We're not flying. We're actually not swimming to certain areas, and we are going, hopefully, at least for 72 hours, we are going legally by hours of service. But let's continue. So RXO gave advices for the drivers, while they also give advices for the carriers. And they are asking the companies to make sure that we communicate with the drivers. So, who should communicate with the drivers? Well, of course, dispatchers, of course, the safety managers, of course, people who run this company. They need to make sure that they stay in communication with drivers. But it should happen not only the next 72 hours. Communication is a key in this industry. Without proper communication, without solving the problems right away, unfortunately, none of you can survive. Also, they want to stress out, please do the pre-trip inspections because you can find a lots and lots of issues, and hopefully you can prevent from getting violations. Also, they want to ask companies, please monitor driver compliance, right? What are they referring to? Well, hiring the drivers who actually not prohibited in clearinghouse, making sure that you educate your drivers, right? Even about hours of service, even about security of the cargo, and actually about the DOT week. 37-point inspection, difference between inspections. It's so funny because in my classes, when I ask drivers how many inspections do they have, they only think that we have 3 inspections. But we already know we have more. So please educate the drivers, not after they're gonna get stopped and get violation, but today. And make sure that you, of course, prepare, make sure that you pay attention to logbooks. And if you got violations, make sure your safety and compliance looks at inspections and see maybe there is a chance that you can fight that violation. If you disagree with inspector, if you think that some of the points of some of the violations were given wrongly, well, you should go and try to file data queue. Of course, most of you probably know how to do this. If not, you usually hire the third party. Just educate yourself. What is the data queue? How can you file data queue? What things can be removed with a data queue request? What part of you as a carrier can control in data queue or not? Well, for shippers, RXO is also advising, well, due to the DOT week, well, make sure that you schedule those loads kind of legally, right? Make sure that you understand that some drivers are gonna be late. So if you have strict appointments, make sure you have patience. Make sure you don't punish our carriers even more because they are already doing a great job. Let's see what is actually Coyote tells us. Well, Coyote wants us to concentrate, and they are actually referring to dispatchers and shippers and receivers, and they want to educate us, will the DOT week affect truckload capacity? And look at this. So let's see. They are telling us that every year thousands of drivers actually decide not to drive during the DOT week, right? So they decide to stay home with their family or take vacation. Why? Because they know that something's wrong with the truck or trailer. They don't really want to take a chance to have the violations. And that's why they usually take breaks. Since some of the drivers will not be on the road, this can affect the truck load capacity. So, what does it mean, truckload capacity? That means that we're going to have less trucks as usual. Well, is that really going to affect us this year? Well, probably not as much because nowadays we know that we don't have enough freight volume anyway. But if you've been in trucking for the last, I don't know, 10 years, 12 years, while people who had new trucks or the good drivers who maintain their equipment, they love DOT week. Why? Because the rates usually go up. This year, I don't really think it's gonna be that drastic change because again, simply the volume of the freight is low. We already have too many trucks and not enough freight. Maybe in some areas it will affect, I don't know, we'll see tomorrow. So hopefully watch us tomorrow. I will try to go live in the morning before my other appointments and see around 9:30 if the brokers are really gonna pay more. So we're gonna concentrate on California, maybe Florida, maybe East Coast, and see if this is actually true about the capacity and if spot market is gonna increase. So what else is Coyote sharing with us? Well, Coyote is telling us and explaining why is this happening. And again, they go back to what? That majority of trucks on the road have no reason to fear an inspection, but some of the drivers just don't feel like going through extra stress. They don't want to risk their safety of their company and they don't want to get the violations because if you're in trucking, well, the company will fine you. And of course, nobody wants to do this. So, what else is going to happen? Well, they're giving us statistics for 2023 and we had 60,000 inspections and 19% actually were out of service in 2022 and it has to be due to vehicle and 5% or almost 5.5 is was due to driver qualifications, right? So that's what they want us to concentrate on and they're giving us advice for this year 2024. Well, the first six things. So the first thing they are referring to, the capacity will probably be tighter. Most carriers will operate as usual, but some drivers will opt out to work their trucks for a few days. Second advice they're giving us that routing guide compliance may be a little bit more complicated, so make sure that you actually take those legal runs and probably some loads are not going to be delivered on time due to traffic, due to inspection, and due to other things. And they think that actually we're going to see a little spike in the prices. So we'll see tomorrow. Um, Drivers may be late, yes. So because 37-point inspection, usually it's going to take you 45 minutes and depend on inspector. Sometimes it can take even hour and a half. And of course, they want you to concentrate that all of this is not going to be normal till probably Friday night. And on Friday, they are expecting that some drivers, of course, gonna take a longer break because if you are taking the off on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so why would you want to go back on Saturday, Sunday? So that's why a lot of people usually go to visit their family, work on their trucks, schedule preventive maintenance. Maybe they have some breakdowns, but again, We have enough carriers who maintain their trucks, so there is no need to be scared. If you have qualified driver, if you're taking care of your truck and trailer, if your paperwork in place, if you are doing mandatory checks in clearinghouse, you should not be actually afraid of inspection. Plus, here's the thing: how many new carriers who only have 1, 2, 3 trucks in the last year and a half were not able to work with most of the brokers because they don't even have one random DOT inspection on the road? So if you are a carrier who is struggling with not having a DOT inspection on Safer, maybe this is your chance to go on the road tomorrow and hopefully get it. But make sure that you check all your paperwork. Make sure that your truck and trailer is actually excellent, because you don't want to get stopped and get out of service. That would be even worse than not having the inspection, because if you're a company with only one truck and you're gonna get stopped and get out of service, well, your compliance is gonna go really high. You're gonna be 100% non-compliant. So make sure that you are realistic about this. What else is Coyote telling us? Well, they are also giving advice for the shippers, and they are actually asking them, well, make sure that you understand, our dear shippers and receivers, the drivers may be delayed, and please try to accommodate them kind of nicely and to your workflow, right? Make sure that you communicate with all those layovers, and make sure you are flexible to all of this. Well, again and again, everybody is repeating the same. Make sure that you understand what's gonna happen, prepare, and just pay attention to the details. Well, I see that Sandra is watching. Let's see who else is watching. Probably everybody is dealing with a last minute preparation for tomorrow. But here's some resources one more time. If you guys ever want to educate yourself, please visit that website, official website. If you want to understand what is out of service criteria is, they have a lot of paperwork. You can even order one for your company so you can educate your drivers, your dispatchers, your safety personnel. Make sure you read about all the decals, inspection levels. Everything is here. You have a bunch of resources so you can provide this to your drivers, to your safety managers, right? We have lots and lots of resources. And of course, our main flyer for tomorrow is our what are they concentrating tomorrow? And we are concentrating on these two factors. Will they check on everything else? Yes, they can do anything they want. Let's go back to what's going on in our training. Well, we just updated. Actually, let me go and find our schedule. And I want to announce few classes which I finally posted for the summer, because a lot of people would like to go on vacation with their kids. They also take some breaks. So here is the schedule. Right now we are finishing our trucking safety and compliance. We have our upcoming June class starting on June 1st. We also posted our July class, which is going to start on July 13th. Our IFTA will be July 21st. And of course, always after IFTA, we are starting our safety and compliance. So safety and compliance is going to start on July 27th. If you take in both classes, you automatically saving $250. And if you just want to take safety and compliance without IFTA, because some of you already know how to file IFTA, you can do that as well. And the price is there 899. So this is about everything you need to know about your DOT Blitz. Don't be scared, just be educated. Still contact your drivers today. Make sure you remind them about all paperwork, double check on their folders, make sure they are polite, make sure they actually know what the inspector is gonna ask them, and everything will be fine. Trucking is not going anywhere. Spot market actually did not come up, but tomorrow we're gonna see the reality. We're gonna see, is DOT week is gonna drive crazy prices tomorrow for the next 72 hours. So follow us tomorrow. Make sure that you guys like, share, ask questions. And because of you, we are finally 25,000 on YouTube. Our Russian speaking channel is also growing. We're at 2,000 there. And maybe we'll do the short video later today, maybe around 8 p.m., also talking about the DOT Blitz in Russian language. So if you would like to join us later, please make sure you do so. Always read the reviews about our trainings, support your teammates. Remember, in every class, you guys already met 20, 30, 40, 50 people. So when you see their postings, when you see their reviews, when you see the videos when they are practicing, just be kind enough to give them a boost. Make sure that we start building relationships right now. Make sure that we stay positive, because positivity is a key to success. But of course, education, education, education. Knowledge is a key, and that's why DTC is always giving you the strong foundation, because education is our core business. I'll see you guys soon, and hopefully you like the information, and write to us tomorrow. Did your drivers get a good inspection? Did they get the decals? Did they get violations? Or hopefully they just stay home, because we are curious what's going on there on the roads in 2024. Love you and see you soon.